what's up? It's Kathy. I'm back with another process video. This one is for my blog post over at Paper Issues. And this week I've decided, well, this blog post and my next blog post, I've decided to focus on layouts about like maybe my husband and me or relationships or that type of thing. And I'm using the Maggie Holmes, that just skipped, the Maggie Holmes Carousel collection. And so one of the papers has this big print that says "Love This Day" on it. And it actually is kind of 3D looking. There's shadows and everything on it, which I thought was really cool. Now, could have just left it, but I decided to cut it apart, and that's because I wanted to squeeze it together a little more. And I left as much of the shadowing as I could, and it still helps it look 3D. Makes it look dimensional and kind of real. So I was really happy with how that ended up looking in the end. So I'm just deciding what kind of paper I want to put it on. And these are the pictures that I'm working with. So it actually ends up working really well that it's the same width, that I can make it the same width in the end. Because I really wasn't sure what I was going to be doing when I printed off the pictures. I just knew that I had these 3 pictures that I wanted to do. And originally I did not buy that back side for that side, but I ended up really liking it and deciding that I wanted to use it because I thought it might help other people have a way to use it too. One of my other thoughts was to just put a big strip of paper over the day in case I didn't want to use "Love This Day," that type thing, or you could print off little photos or different things like that and tuck it in around. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing with it, and I am going to go with that striped paper. I love it. It is probably my favorite paper from the collection. It's definitely one of those papers that now that I have it in my hands, I need to go buy more of.
Making this nether.
All right, continuing my recording after my son decided to come in and tell me a big old story about Minecraft, because I totally know what he's talking about. Like, I know video games, like I play video games and stuff like that, but Minecraft I just cannot get into at all. I mean, if he wants to like yak at me about Sims or something, I'll be all over that, but anyway. So, as I was saying, now that I have that paper in my hand, I want to buy like a million more pieces of it because I just love it. So, the paper also had like this look that it had been taped at the tops of each letter, so I decided to just kind of go with that theme and emphasize that. And this roll of washi tape came in the roll for the Fa La La collection, and it was just these gold scallops, and I thought that that was perfect. So I stuck it all down first, and that was just because I wanted to get it in just the right way that I liked it. So I do manage to go back and get it all kind of situated and working the way it does. And like you can see between that T and that H. Ew, oh yeah, and that was when like an ant decided to crawl across my layout because, as I've mentioned before, like my screen is not very good on my window and bugs get in all the time. So bleh. Anyway, I got rid of the ant, I think. Anywho, so my first thought was that I was just going to put a strip of paper. And I love that hot air balloon paper. And I love that color. Ugh. That corally peach with the pink kind of color. Oh, I love it. And I love the hot air balloons. And I knew I wanted to cut them out and get a couple on this page as well. So originally I thought, yeah, I'm just going to put a strip of paper. And then I decided, nah, I don't really want to put a strip of paper, but I'll go through all of that first. There we go. So I was going to back each of them and all that stuff. And then I went, you know what? I just want to back them on the hot air balloon paper. And then I'm going to take some of the tissue paper that gets sent with the Cassie mail when we get our stuff. And that houndstooth, which I've used in a few layouts recently. And I'm going to back the photos with the houndstooth. I'm just going into accents now, apparently. So I'm going to back it with that paper first, and then the houndstooth, and then I'm going to just stick them all down and kind of have them going this way and that. And you can see like between that T and that H, does that not look like one of the pieces of paper is like up in the air? Except it's not. It's just the way that that it's printed to look like that. And I think that's really cool. I was really happy when I saw how that works and how well it works. Like I didn't notice it when I was sitting down, but when I stood up and looked down through my camera to kind of get an idea, because I've been finding more and more that I like scrapping while I'm standing and looking over my layout than sitting. I just kind of get a better idea of what's going on. So I used to not scrap like that at all. And now I kind of like, there's no way I'm going to be one of those standing scrappers, but I don't mind. I like standing up to take a peek. I know there's a lot of us that like to do that too. So, it's a great idea. It gives you a different perspective, and it's so weird how much of a different perspective it gives you. But anyway, when I was looking, yada yada yada, Kathy, when I was looking through the camera, I was really impressed with the shadow effect and everything. So I'm really happy with this little cut apart, and because of it, the whole layout comes together so quickly. Because after this, I'm just going to embellish. Like, I'm not going to go crazy with more papers. I've got my big border. I've got my big title. So I just need like a few little embellishment clusters to kind of top it all off. And I do end up actually going with 4 embellishment clusters technically at the end, because I have 3 hot air balloons, and then I do a little embellishment cluster on the lower left hand side. And that's just mostly because I'm weird and decided to do that. I think it was to bring in other colors. I don't know why exactly I did it, because it really wasn't necessary. But I have to arrange these photos in a certain way, because they were pretty much, I was like, okay, this wasn't our anniversary night, but it was like a few weeks beforehand or something like that. And we were going out on this very brief date night, because it didn't start till quite late, so there was like nothing to do. So we just kind of went out for a bit, and it was kind of silly. I was like, okay, can we get a picture? Like, we don't get a lot of pictures with the 2 of us and like lovey-dovey stuff. Like, I take a lot of selfies and things like that, but I don't get a whole lot with him in the pictures, and I try. It's kind of like, and when everyone has those things about like, make sure you get your mom in the picture. We're kind of the opposite. I have to make sure I get him in the picture, because I take a lot of pictures with the kids. I do get stuck not being in the pictures too, but quite mostly because I'm taking them. But quite often I need to get him in them too. So anyway, you can see first one, he's looking off because heaven forbid he'd do do this for me. And then he made me laugh, and then we're laughing and being silly in the rest of them, because he was basically like, oh no, I'll take the picture. Like, don't, like, let's, fool Kathy, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, for believing that he was gonna go straight-faced and take a nice picture. So, of course, the nicest picture of him is the one where I'm laughing because I was so certain he was going to, like, be silly or something. Anyway, I'm rambling. So, I cut 3 hot air balloons out and popped them in that way with a little bit of fun foam, just the thin fun foam. I didn't want them too popped up, mostly because the little flags would kind of get ruined. So, it's not exclusively the carousel collection, because those little arrows, those little plus signs are from the Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams collection. That Ferris wheel I'm showing you here, there was these, like, you could get these 4x6 cards as part of her collection, and I bought them, and I pretty much bought them like just to cut apart or do something with, and they came with a plastic, like, acetate Ferris wheel. So I cut it out, and it had a Brad in the center, and I just thought it was really cute. So that's what that thing is. That big circle with the gold is from that. I used the black and white flower stickers because I really liked that black and white theme that was going. She had these gold enamel icons, I guess you would call them. So that's the yellow heart. So then I'm like, oh man, at the top, cluster, all I've got going on right now is peach on peach, because the Hello Love is peach. So I'm looking through my ephemera, trying to find a few pieces that I can tuck in around. That ephemera was, I think, the carousel plus the Chasing Dreams was all in one little pack that I had set aside. So I'm grabbing yellows and I'm trying to grab a bit of greens just to kind of accent the colors that are going on in the photo, because there's a lot of green from the grass, and then yellow just because I love peach with yellow, and just to bring in that heart. And I'm wearing a black and white striped shirt, so it all kind of works out that way too. Totally fine. And then I was so scared that I was going to go like embellishment crazy on this because I love everything. So I was like, no, I got to keep it low key, and not go too crazy, because yeah, I just have a tendency to. So this is what I'm talking about with that other embellishment cluster on that lower left hand side, is I end up doing that. And it's not really necessary. I just kind of did it as like a counterbalance almost. I used those. The bow was so cute. I had to bring in one. I want a million of those bows. They're adorable. That little magical tag was cute. And I snipped that sticker, that little banner sticker, in half and end up kind of like looping it in around the bow and everything like that. One of the things I do regret is I did get, what's it called? Heidi Swapp Color Shine on the bow. Oh, sad. Anyway, it's not too bad. I barely notice it, but I'm thinking about bringing in something else that's got a bit of gold at the bottom because of that heart, that enamel, gold enamel type heart. I just want something else in the bottom that's got that on it. So that's where that little paperclip type guy comes in. I end up putting him back on the picture. It's pretty cute. And I think I put a little yellow flower in the middle of that black and white flower, just to bring in the yellow. So I've brought in green in 3 different places. I've brought in yellow. I've brought in gold, because there's a gold heart up top. There's now a gold heart in that section. There's the gold Ferris wheel and all that kind of stuff. So I have brought in all the different elements in the different places. The only other thing I was debating, and I don't know if I do this on screen or if I do it off screen. I feel like I do it off screen when we're done, when I'm all done, we're done, is I write Guy on the middle picture in the little clear stickers that come in the Maggie Holmes collection. This collection, I should say. This most recent collection has clear stickers with like an outline font. So the title is actually like Love This Guy, but you mostly just see the Love This. I brought in that big glitter piece that's from the ephemera collection. So now I've got my glitter hearts in 3 places. Got my stitches randomly. There they are. I found them like right at the end when I was almost done. I was like, oh, I should totally bring these in. Like, these will totally work. Stop saying totally, Kathy. You can totally tell. Tell I'm from the 90s. Ah! Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm bringing in some blue too. Just, for fun. So, and just to have a little bit more writing somewhere. I don't know why. But I'm going to finish it off with Heidi Swapp Color Shine in the mint green. I just thought that played off really well with everything else. I love like a mint green with a peach and a coral. So, I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. Anywho. So, yeah, pictures are coming up. And yeah, I'll have another blog post towards the end of August with more like lovey-dovey type stuff. So, I'll see you then and have a nice day. Bye.